nigga, he played that boy.
Don't fall, baby, don't fall in love. 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 Squad paper chasing, running it up.
What's up, guys? It's Young E, and I've been thinking about this a lot, been praying about it a lot. So as you can tell by the title, this is a video about my testimony. So I'm gonna just start from the very beginning of me entering this world. So basically, my parents were married for like over 5 years. And they were trying to have a kid for a very long time, but it just never really worked, never really happened. And just after a while, they went to Ohio, and my dad's grandfather was actually a reverend. So they prayed over my mom, and 9 months later, I was here. And as confirmation that it was from God, I was actually born on May 13th, 2001, which is Mother's Day. So there we go. And then fast forwarding like 16, 17 years, I grew up around church, in church, but never really having faith for myself, never really accepting God for myself and even believing it fully. So all that time I had doubt, like I remember being in church and I was like little, and I just remember them telling us about Noah's Ark, and I just remember thinking like, this isn't real. But I was always too afraid to ask, because I was afraid they were gonna like kick me out the church or something if I made that statement. So I just never really asked. So I just bottled up my doubt and carried it with me, throughout middle school, high school. And senior year of high school, I was in like a really bad place in my life. I was, smoking. I never really drank or dabbled into pills or anything, but there was really just like a lot of things that I was doing that just weren't right at all. And at that time, I considered myself to be atheist. So also, like around that time, I had voices in my head, and they were just like wanting to like make me anxious, make me nervous, drag me down. And like, for example, if I was driving, they would tell me I was swerving, even if I wasn't, so that I tried to correct my swerving, which I wasn't even doing in the first place, and then I'd start actually swerving. So that's actually just one example of the things that they would say. And so like this has been going on for like a couple months, and like around this time, ironically, I was actually like, I was making fun of Christians at my school. I'm gonna just be honest, lay it all on the table. I was making fun of Christians at my school, like debating. I really wasn't respectful of any person, their beliefs or their religions. I just kind of rejected it all. Didn't really find it to be true or logical or scientific or any of that things that mattered to me at the time. But obviously I was going through these things, and it led up to the point where I was like laying down on a bed, and these voices were just talking. And basically what they were saying is they were gonna drag me down to hell. And around that time, like at this time, anytime that I would blink, like I could see like myself burning. Now at that time I was atheist, but obviously like if you're going through that, like you're not gonna be atheist for too long. I will say at that time I was smoking, and there's definitely like drugs is definitely like I'll say the spiritual realm is definitely a real thing. And from what I understand now, like you can either access the spiritual realm legally through God or illegally through substances or demonic ways. And so what I believe now is at that time I was accessing the spiritual realm illegally, and then demonic forces had their way with me at that time. But anyways, at that time I basically said I stand with the Lord, and the second I said that, all the voices went away. And so at that moment I just knew, like, all right, there's something special about the name of the Lord. Like there's something deeper behind it. So that's the first moment where I really started to believe, all right, let me find out for myself. So after that, I started growing in faith, and at that point in time, I didn't like read the Bible yet or go to church. It was just me and him. And fast forward a couple months later, I was laying in bed again, and this time it was at night, and I was getting ready to go to bed. My eyes were closed, and a loud thundering voice said, "The world is not final yet." And I remember when I heard it, clear as day, I just knew it was God. Like when you hear his voice, you just know it's him. Like you just know it's God. So, after I heard that, I was kind of like, all right, I already believed beforehand, but now, all right, like now I 120% believe. Nobody can tell me anything. So ever since then, those are like the two main reasons why I believe in God. And then everything that God has done in my life and positioned me. And I will say, for one thing, the times where I have seen God move the most is when I go to spread the gospel. And literally, like, I'll just walk out and I'll just be like, God, like, I'm just honest, because, like, God already knows what we're thinking. He already knows our hearts. He already knows everything. So, I don't know, I just, like, lay it on the table. So I'm just like, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm saying. Guide me. and in those moments, I kid you not, like, that's when God just moves the most. Like, just situations just like aligning that just make me be like, all right, like that was God too. So yeah, I guess those things are what makes me believe in God. And I understand how everyone has had those experiences. And like with my relationship with God, my music is really just a reflection of my life and the life that I'm living. Because I didn't always make gospel music. Even when I was pursuing God, I didn't hand over my music to him immediately anyways. And it really took a while, but just, I guess it's just a reflection of my relationship with him. So for every song that I make from now on, I'm looking at the world from this perspective. So for anyone wanting to know who Young E is, man, I'm just, honestly, I'm a son of God who makes music. And I don't really want to like sit here and say that like I'm a gospel artist. I'm just a Christian who makes music. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to speak to you because I know I was in a place where I didn't believe. I was in a place where I was messed up. So if anyone ever wants to talk, I'd love to talk to you. I feel like religion is something that really shouldn't be bottled up, you know, because I'm not claiming to be better than anyone. I'm just claiming to have the truth. because I looked for a very long time about like what comes after death, what's the meaning to life. I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and here I am right now making this video. So if anyone ever wants to know, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. And I was debating on whether or not to make this video. I just prayed on it, and here we go. So that's it.